What is monocropping? Why does it matter? We all have food. Why should I worry about farming practices? These questions are all valid, but need to be answered with a firm and undeniable explanation that farming practices can be detrimental to the environment, especially monocropping, which is the fancy way of saying farmers are only growing one type of crop. Monocropping dominates modern agricultural practices due to the high yield needed to keep the livestock industry afloat, and the insane economic benefit that it provides to farmers. But most importantly, the livestock industry. EarthDay.org says nearly 70% of all farmland is used for livestock feed. The increased need for monocropping is where the detrimental effects of it are. Monocropping is devastating for soil and biodiversity because of the nutrient-sucking crops and the lack of lagoons and other nutrient-replenishing plants. And because the soil is being destroyed, farmers are forced into having to use synthetic fertilizers, which drain the soil even further. And after a time, the soil will no longer be able to support crops, which is a major issue going into the future with the population rising as it is. The use of fertilizers is also very expensive, amounting to over 33 to 44% of costs for corn and wheat farming operations. The use of fertilizers also has a devastating effect on the water supply, causing eutrophication, which kills off biodiversity in waterways and oceans. This is a major long-term effect that monocropping can have on the environment. Along with the increased use of fertilizers, farmers are forced to increase pesticide use for the GMO plants that are most commonly monocropped. This causes terrible positive feedback loops where pests become more resistant to pesticides and force the farmers to use more pesticides. This makes a terrible pest situation for farmers. But there are solutions to monocropping, and all of them stem from the idea of it being beneficial to the environment to have higher biodiversity in farming. The general term for this kind of farming is agroecology. This type of farming includes agroforestry, which is the combination of trees and farming, or polycropping, using multiple crops to increase biodiversity. These alternatives are viable and have much better long-term success compared to the unsustainable monocropping that dominates the farming industry. Benefits of polycropping and other sustainable farming include less pesticide use because of more resistant ecosystems, and less need for fertilizer because of the integrated legume plants and soil regenerative plants. These techniques can save our soil and our environment, and going forward can bring us back in connection with the land on a spiritual level rather than an economic one.